Here's another one that I hear people say, well, I'll just turn my brain off and I'll just let my attorney and CPA figure all this stuff out. Stupid decision, right? Because that's good to have a CPA and it's good to have an attorney. But it's better if you're knowledgeable, because once you're in a lawsuit, it's pretty hard to go back and put your assets in things that protect them, right? It's called fraudulent transfer. So it's best that you know now what to do and protect yourself so that when it does come and you do get the attorney and CPA, they'll be able to serve you better because you're structured properly to begin with, right? So it's good to have the tax and legal advice for sure. But to just turn your brain off and let them do it for you, that's not a good idea, because you need to be prepared when the lawsuit happens, when it strikes. 7 million words in the tax code, and nobody in the country has them all memorized except for Richard, of course. And the secret is do it now. Take charge of your own financial future and set up the proper legal tools you need to protect yourself. I told you the contractor con artist story already, and the big lesson there is, by the way, in the end I won this lawsuit, but it still cost me $157,000 as defense and so on. And so the secret there is what? If you win, you lose, right? Because in America we have to pay our own legal fees. There's not this loser pay legal system like there is in Canada and other countries. Now and then of course we have one person from Canada, and of course you have to pay, if you lose there, you have to pay both sides, right? But here, even if you win, you lose, because you still have to pay your lawyer. If you lose, you lose. You have to pay your lawyer, plus you have to pay the other side, right? And if you do nothing, what happens? You lose. If you don't defend it at all, they can take your couch, right? It happens to nice people too. That's what I didn't realize. Well, you've seen the stories. We're not going to read all this, but the key thing is you've seen the stories. The lady spilling hot coffee on herself at McDonald's. There was a news anchor on the news down in Los Angeles, and she wore a neck brace for about a year. And I thought, I know what it is. She's in a lawsuit, and she's trying to get money, so she's wearing this neck brace as a news anchor to get sympathy for the court case that she has coming, I'm sure. Top Hollywood studios. So many. There's businesses that where the lawsuit part of their company is a profit center. They're in the business of suing. There was a law firm down in Los Angeles, and they had there was a certain quirk in the law. They sued every single travel agency in the whole city for some. I don't know exactly what the details were, but they were able to settle, and the travel agency would pay like $2,000 or $4,000 or $10,000 just to settle, so they wouldn't have to fight, right? It's cheaper to settle than to fight. It's unjust, but it's our justice system, right? Other countries discourage stirring up lawsuits. In 1977, the Supreme Court legalized lawyers' advertising. You remember that change? Right, when lawyers could advertise and doctors could advertise. And now what kind of ads do we see? I see big billboards with a big question, injured, accident, big question mark, and there's some smiling guy in a suit standing there and a big telephone number for you to call. You've seen that one, I'm sure, right? It just plants the seeds in people's heads, right? Now this is something that is not in your book, but this is something that just happened yesterday. The new bankruptcy law. Now, it used to be, until yesterday, and this is I think going to be signed into law sometime this coming week, that if it got too bad, you could just file bankruptcy and it wipes out all the debts. We had kind of like an escape, a hatch door we could crawl through if it got too hot. But now, if somebody earns more than 50% of the median income in their state, they can't wipe out their debts through bankruptcy anymore. They still have to pay it off through Chapter 13 bankruptcy, right? So as of yesterday, and will be signed into law here in a few days, your escape hatch is gone. So even now, here's something in just yesterday that just underlines the need for why we're here, for asset protection.